it's Ryan Rose over at Your House to Be. So yeah, let's get the slideshow started. First piece here is curb appeal. So very tiny numbers. You could barely see them. This was a quick Amazon purchase. These numbers were $14 a piece. Mid-century, I could have gotten the steel letters. They just didn't have the width that I was looking for, and I wanted them painted out. Those started at like $80, $90 a piece, and they just weren't what I wanted. They didn't hold enough color. Eventually, that background, that wood, is going to be painted a black, and then that's really going to stand out, and I'm going to have a muralist fill in those teal numbers to kind of have this cool effect there. So this is just phase one on that piece, but it is paramount. Large numbers, that connection, have fun with it. Walking up to the house should reflect what people are going to experience inside. So if you're conservative and stoic and very structured, you know, that front curb appeal is likely going to reflect that. If you want this space to be playful and fun, you need to start that narrative out with colors and in play. All right, so next, here's the photos here. Nasty wool carpet that was uber dirty. The beams on the ceiling, I don't know what had been going on with them, but they needed a deep cleaning. They had gotten this weird patina that actually ended up clearing off. And then the paint was super tired. So went through here, and the biggest thing I did is I was fortunate that there's concrete floors throughout, and then they had carpeted and put linoleum on top. So this is an intimidating investment. It was $7,500, but if I were to go in here and get carpet installed, which would wear out and eventually need to get replaced again, that likely would have been $6,000. If I would have, in the areas where there's linoleum, put in tile, that probably would have been another $5,000. So instead of $11,000 investment, I did polished concrete here, where it increases that value with brand new flooring. It also has that edgy kind of feel, as long as the house is cohesive with it. If you own a colonial and you're doing polished concrete floors, there's going to be a record scratch here. But since it's a 1955 mid-century modern, polished concrete is fantastic. I did it with a matte finish instead of a gloss. I'm not sure how I feel about that final decision, but I like it at the time. And I can always upgrade that into a gloss finish for $200 worth of material on there. So yes, it was $7,500. It could have easily been $10,000, $15,000 for my flooring budget. It still increases that value for that $7,000 investment. Just getting rid of these terrible floors, that's easily a $20,000, $30,000 equity gain by making smart flooring decisions and making it appealing there. So this summary, and then what else do I have here? Lighting, furnishings. This teak wall was another major change in the property. When we look at this, all I did is I bought Restore, which is like a floor refinisher, and I went through and hand wiped all the cracks. Well, I first of all cleaned it really well, and then went through and did this Restore finish. So this teak wall, not cheap paneling at all when it was installed, still has that great wood grain. Investment was $12, and my time, and taking something that was tired and looked like it needed to get painted and bring it back to that original period pop of wood richness was a super easy investment. And it's hard to say, you know, how that changed the value. I definitely think it creates much more of a sense of home, much more appeal there. Minutia, maybe for that $12 investment, because now it's no longer a blight, is maybe like psychologically a $10,000 gain in this property, because people aren't going to look at it as a project if you look at it that way. Another thing is I did some really simple lighting upgrades. So people get stuck on playing the checkers game. So they go to a lighting store and they buy the biggest, brightest thing, and they go through and their lighting budget is thousands of dollars. Like, you can go crazy with lighting. It's not necessary. You have to reflect what's going on in the home. You have to reflect the play that's going on. Here in the dining room, it had a horrible ceiling fan. I got this simple IKEA light fixture. I think it was actually an open box item for $10. Original retail, I think, was $50. So even at $50, getting rid of something horrible, this is a placeholder. Eventually, do I want to get a true mid-century modern light fixture? Absolutely. Can I spend $10, get something that is a bridge, that works in the space, is that clean, modern, and unobtrusive? That's also what I like to see. Unless you're spending and you want a showpiece for a light fixture, I always lean towards, how does this blend in and just shed light instead of being a feature? You can't have every light fixture be a feature. They're fun, but it is that strategy of having things blend in. So here, $10 investment, also that psychological effect of getting rid of those blemishes. So I say with every light fixture that is an eyesore versus one that either blends in or matches the home and matches that spirit of the home, probably changes the psychological effect of the buyer, probably about $1,000 on that. Because a buyer will walk into a property and start adding up all the little things that they need to do. And they never say, oh, I could get a contractor's kit at Home Depot. They are absolutely going to go and think of the most expensive light fixture, the most expensive electrician, and just extrapolate that number into something irrational. So it is getting rid of that resistance there. The talk here is really bridge pieces. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be something better than what was there, kind of thing. So, and there's always opportunities, especially my taste is a little aggressive, and I tend to find those items on sale because people tend to go so conservative and they're trying to match everything with everything. And this beige doesn't match anything. Does it clash with the ceiling a little bit? Maybe. Did I need more brown? Probably not. But is it $10? Is it a bridge? Absolutely. And I'm totally fine with that. Here you can also see that teak wall and just that warm glow of spending $12 on a simple product with a sponge, wiping it into that wood to kind of bring it back to life. This is another thing with furniture. If you have true wood heirloom pieces, going through with restore finish, really brings those things back to life versus trying to sand them down. Again, what else do we have here? Oh, the laundry room and lack of refrigerator. This is another thing where, a buyer, the burden of you buy a brand new home to you, and then you need to replace appliances and get a washer dryer and all of that stuff. They're already freaking out about how much money they have to put down. They're already freaking out about moving and all of these pieces. And if you add to it, and by the way, you also get to buy a refrigerator, that intimidates people so much. So it is such a simple thing when you're getting ready to sell a home. So I always say, as long as you buy a rationally priced refrigerator, it is a dollar for dollar gain on there. Here, again, getting rid of this terrible linoleum, which was a project, just updating the paint. And then here, this great house hack was, this is a mid-century modern light fixture shade that would have been on a lamp that I got at a antique shop for short money. I think it was $5 or something crazy like that. And then I did just a little pendant sconce here. When I bought this place, there wasn't a light fixture installed. So here, for $20 $20 or whatnot. It really adds that mid-century modern flair. So the lesson here is playing with lampshades and knowing that you can install them in different ways and upgrade, pendant light fixtures and all of that stuff to create a different look. You can also spray paint light fixtures, all of that stuff. So for short money, you can make something really kind of reflect the period on here. This is also one of the first pictures where you can kind of see, I did restore finish on all the original cabinets. This is another struggle bus I have, is when you're dealing with architect designed or, older homes that have an original design to their kitchen. These were all custom crafted, beautiful maple cabinets. And I beat out an investor on this property, and I guarantee you they looked at this and said, okay, we have to rip out all the cabinets and replace them with white shaker cabinets. And it's what everybody's doing. But in this home, it's to take a handcrafted item and spend a little bit of time. So restore finish is also like, I think $9-10 a container. I ended up using 2 here just to bring back that original luster. Some of the cabinets need a little bit of repair, but it was designed specifically for this home by an architect, by artisans. So it's important to kind of understand new isn't always better and not to fight the home in every situation. Also, I would say I'm not super excited about the stainless steel. I don't like stainless steel appliances. The only stainless steel appliance I like is a stove. But I had a unique spot here. It had to be a unique depth, and I had a time constraint on getting a refrigerator. So this is also a placeholder. I'm playing the long game on this home. I plan on moving into this home in 20 years. So will this refrigerator work now? Yes. Does it hit the entry door when it opens? No. Is it a win? Yes. Is it the color I want? No. So I will eventually replace this, but for the next 10, 15 years, this is a great placeholder. It is that true cabinet depth. So this is 25 inches deep versus some of the cabinet depths that are like 30 inches deep. So they're overhanging like 6 inches, and that drives me crazy. It's the depth that I wanted. It fits the space nicely, and eventually I'm going to replace it with something more nostalgic. But for now, it's a great placeholder. So this lesson here is don't get stuck on perfect. Don't get stuck on that perfect fit. Sometimes, and I keep on saying this, like the chess game and a bridge, like look at things as like how that bridges to your next purchase and what the long game looks like on this. So yeah, this is a big change. That sense of entry is a huge difference for people.